Welcome to That's What She Said. We are really excited today to have Jan Seeley in the house. So Jan Seeley, like all of our worlds collide with you.
Yep.
Like we've had you as a speaker. We're constantly trying to basically partner with you just so we can spend time together. Basically, is the gist of it. The cat's out of the bag. So let's introduce ourselves, and I'll let you tell your fancy title beyond Jan Seeley, Carrie's #1 person on the planet. So I know you have other job titles, but let's start with Carrie Rosso.
Hi, Jeanette Jerzyk.
Carol Wackerlin.
And Jan Seeley.
Yes. I'm the co-director of the Christie Clinic Illinois Marathon. I work with Mike Lindemann and an incredible committee of about 70 and a local owners group that manages the event.
And you're here in your uniform.
Yes. I am required to wear Christie Clinic Illinois Marathon garb at least 6 days a week. So today I am in it. I heard you wearing purple. And
yeah.
So this is my
perfect.
Yes.
We should thank you and the Christie Clinic Illinois Marathon for sponsoring today's episode. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I've always wondered this. Is this one of those things that started sort of as a what if, wouldn't it be great if, how did this even start?
I have an uncanny ability of being in the right place at the right time. Ooh. So many people know that for 19 years I was the publisher of Marathon and Beyond magazine, an international running magazine for marathoners and half marathoners. As a result, I know hundreds and hundreds of event directors all over the country. And in 2007, I got a call from Mark Knudsen, who at the time was, and still is, his company puts on the Fargo Marathon in North Dakota. And he called me up literally on a Tuesday afternoon and said, "Hey Jan, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm looking to start or acquire new marathons." And I'm looking down the map and I'm looking at Champaign-Urbana, and Mark and I had become friends over the years, and I see, Chicago, you got Indy, you got St. Louis. I'm thinking that might be a good place to start a race.
Because we're flat.
Well, flat spring, and so
Extra
he said,
bonus.
would you help me? So first person I called was Mike Lindemann, and he said, would you get me meetings with both mayors and somebody important at the university? So we did that. We put together a little focus group. We had the meeting at my office, and when Mark came down, the meetings went very well with both cities and the university, and he got the green light to come in and basically pay for the opportunity to put on this race. So we spent almost 2 years planning the first race. Christie signed on as the title sponsor almost exactly 1 year out. And so we had a lot of momentum to really get the first year off. And Mike and I, the first year, we were just on the committee. I knew that Mike had a marathon course in his head, and he did. In fact, the course we run today is almost the same course we did the first year, minus some tweaks to facilitate traffic. And we had a very small committee, and then after the first year, Mike and I became the co-directors, and then after the second year, Mark sold the event to a local group of business people who are also involved in the event. Mike's an owner, I'm an owner, Reynolds Towing, Greg, and so it is a locally owned event, and it's fantastic.
So I think that's really important that it is a locally owned and operated event, specifically because of the things it can provide for a community like Champaign-Urbana. So can you share with us some of those things that you have come to realize?
Sure. Well, first of all, let's start with the number of people in the Champaign-Urbana community and really Champaign County that do our event. Yes. I was just working on some reports for the city of Urbana, and somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 participants every year live in Champaign County. Wow. 79% of all of our runners are from Illinois, and then we hit almost every state after that. So the people that are doing it, that are participating, that are making changes in their lives. We're hearing from our medical community that we're actually making Champaign-Urbana healthier, so that's fantastic. Then you layer on to that the fundraising that we do, the donations that we do. In the first 8 years, almost $900,000 has been given back to local service groups, charities, which is fantastic. Economic impact, it's now about $10 million on race weekend.
Wow. Hotels, restaurants.
Everything. And one of the things that, and Mike and I can't take any credit for this, but we're very proud of it, is our community just loves this event, and they come out and support it in ways that just aren't happening in other cities where there are races. Our participants say, "What did you do to your town to make everybody?"
Like what?
Oh, I mean, every hotel, every restaurant, they're rolling out the carpet. Everybody is aware that the race is happening on race weekend. So and our goal is from the second somebody steps across the border, they are in a town where they're going to be welcomed and thanked for participating. And people feel that, and they love it, and they call out that as being very different than their experiences of races in other communities.
Last year when we were working at the Shoe Project, there was a guy that came in and he's done marathons everywhere. And he told me that he'd heard so much about the Christie Clinic Illinois Marathon that he wanted to come see for himself. And he said, that's exactly what he said. He said, everybody's smiling. Everybody's acting like they really want us here.
I think we just haven't, I mean, don't we already know this? It's an incredible community. And so when you have people come in from outside of it, it reminds us of how great it is because they feel that. And so that is just something that you can't teach it. It's just how we are. And, we love to come out and tailgate. And so we're a very residential course. People are out flipping the burgers,
As you're running by,
there's a
waving.
beer stop somewhere
It's
that
true.
Mike and I have heard about. So
It's true. I don't know anything about that, but it's true.
yeah, we've got 71 sponsors now, and they're all local companies, and so that again, boy, it's a blessing and an incredible privilege for us to manage this race.
Everybody wants a piece of it.
It's true.
kind
And
of-
you
yeah.
all do the heavy lifting and know everything that goes on behind the scenes. And the rest of us get to reap the benefits because it goes through my neighborhood. And so it's all of those kinds of things. Everyone out, whether they're participating or not, they're sitting out on their lawn, or my kids are, we're going to run over and cheer at this.
Yeah.
And what a huge community building thing. They're cheering for people in their community. And it's just this big cycle. And when we were at this shoe drive, we could see you flitting around, doing everything. And then it's sort of from the top down. You guys set the tone for, we love this. We love our community. And then you just see it. Everyone who works it is there because they want to be, and they're excited, and they feel passionately about it. And I take, my girls started running it when they were, as soon as they were old enough. So then it hits the family, it hits the community. It's like every area of our lives, it hits.
Yeah.
But every year it seems like you add a different kind of event every year. So tell us what the first one looked like, and then what will the next one look like?
Well, so that's good. I'm glad you brought that up. So the first year, which was 2009, we had 5 events. We had a marathon relay, a half marathon, a 5K, and a youth run. They were all on Saturday. Okay. When the ownership changed from,
And how many people did you have the first year?
amazing, we had 9,700 people.
Wow.
Mark thought that we would have 2,500 because that's how many he had at Fargo his first year.
Oh, we're not Fargo.
We're not. We're basically, our year 1 was his year 4. I mean, it really blew him away. But we had a whole year to promote it and market it, and it really, the local community embraced it quickly. But after Mark was no longer the owner, the first thing we did is we moved the 5K to Friday night. And of course, if you don't know, all the races start and end on campus, and everybody finishes at the 50-yard line, which has always been the big wow for people. By moving that 5K to Friday night, we layered in something called the I Challenge, right? Block I Challenge, which allows runners and walkers to now do 2 events. I know you're going,
One on Friday, one on Saturday.
Yes. So the I Challenge events: Marathon I Challenge, Half I Challenge, Mini I Challenge, or the relay. So you do the 5K Friday night and come back on Saturday and do either the marathon, the half, the 10K. And so we added a 10K when we moved the 5K to Friday. We slipped another race in. So we now have 10 events.
And does that
technically.
mean that people could get more than one medal?
Yes, that's the whole point.
We
Yes,
love
that's
our
the whole
medals.
point.
I love
so
our
you get 2 shirts and 3 medals. You get your 5K medal plus whatever race you did on Saturday, and then different unique I Challenge events for the one that you did. And I mean, I've been running for 42 years, which I know is hard to believe since I'm only 43. But runners these days really like the bling. And so if anything, we're just giving them what they want. But these medals, it's really funny because, you typically if you're going to be an I Challenge, you've got a family member in the stands with your Friday night medal. And so after they get their 2 Saturday medals, they go over to the stands and and then they're kind of walking hunched over like this because the weight of the medals is so big.
Never mind that they just ran
or that
23
they're kind of
miles,
clanking,
right?
like hear me clanking, my 3 medals, they're clanking. I don't have 1 medal, I've got 3 medals. So people love that.
But tell me a little bit about, for people, well, I have 2 questions. For people who haven't done one before and say, oh, well, I can maybe do something, how do they get ready? And what's it going to look like when they get there in April for the next one?
For people who have thought about doing this event, and trust me, we've had a lot of people that started out as volunteers and then have moved into the 5K, and if you look at the nice rung of events, you really can move up. You should sign up to be a walker in the 5K. We have thousands of people. The 5K is our largest event. We had almost 8,000 this
Wow.
year. And we started in wave starts. It's not just a massive start. It's by how fast you go. And we start the walkers
And
at
we
the
did
end.
that.
Yes, we did.
And so,
Team, she
yep. And so you could download any kind of couch to 5K program for walkers or runners or in between and get ready for that. It does not take, a whole year to get ready. So it's really the entree event that we want people to do. And so, you're at the start line with your people and maybe you're dressed in a costume or a tutu or whatever. We really encourage that kind of excitement on Friday night. You finish under the lights in the stadium with the $6 million scoreboard flashing your face as you come in. So it's very emotional.
Very big.
It's very
Powerful.
emotional.
Huge.
It's so
Yeah.
powerful for people. One of my favorite stories, you were asking about the human interest. One of my favorite stories from this year, of course, local people know that in 2015 we had to halt the race almost 4 hours in because of a fast-moving lightning storm. So we stranded about 450 marathoners and just a couple of half marathoners out there. We comped all of them into this year's race, and my favorite participant was a woman named Tony. She was born with spina bifida, and she was somebody who was not able to finish in 2015, and we knew it was going to take her 4, 5, 6 hours to do that, and she was our very last half marathon finisher this year. And I took my,
But she finished.
I was there with her at the finish to give her her medal and to
Wow.
take a picture. And
Goosebumps.
exactly. And those stories. I mean, what an incredibly brave person, what a determined person, and that's how this event is really changing lives. So you get that medal, and of course we have tons of food, and of course we have the street fest outside the stadium after Friday night and Saturday. It's just a big freaking party.
It's
It really
so
is.
much more
Yeah.
than a race.
It's big, healthy, sporty,
Yes.
runnery party.
Yeah.
Well, and the sporty, one of the things that my friends like to remind me of, the first time we did it, we all said, oh, it'll be fun. And I was trying really to keep my competitive nature in check. And so we started walking, and everybody looked so cute in their things. And I started walking faster and faster, and they were like, you're going to leave us, aren't you? And finally, it was just like, everybody out of the way.
Yeah.
And then running as fast as I could, but which was much slower than I remembered that I could run, but whatever. But it hits all those things for the people who just want to be together and have that great night, and then for the people who think, I want to know how fast I can still run at age 44. And do it.
We have prize money for the marathon and the half marathon top finishers.
I didn't win anything, did you?
No, but I am so proud of my medals.
Yes.
Like every time I get a medal,
Yeah.
I love them, and I am so proud of them.
Right. And we started doing our themes a few years ago. So, we've had Alma, we did Abe, and of course this year we had the corn, and then we had the contest for 2017. So we're celebrating all together, girls, sesquicentennial anniversary of the university.
The Sasquatch Centennial.
I just keep saying Sasquatch. Not Sasquatch.
Also known as the 150th anniversary. Yes, we'll get that
I can
right.
say that.
We'll work on that later.
So we're very
That's a big
excited.
deal.
We've got some cool stuff up our sleeves that we haven't
Which
even been
you're
able
not
to
going to share with us.
Well, some things are not final yet.
We promise to keep everything here a secret.
We won't tell anyone.
No, we're
except for all of you, of
yeah,
course.
no. Well, just more things. Yeah, I can't commit to them yet.
But you'll have the same races you had last year.
Oh yeah, well, and we added a new one for 20. So here's how it goes. First year we had the two iChallenge events, the one combining the 5K and the marathon, and the one combining the 5K and the half. And then we noticed that a lot of people were parallel entering the 5K and the 10K. And we're like, duh, they deserve to have their challenge because they can do them on different days. So a few more years passed. Now the relay people are saying, hey, what about us?
what about us?
I can do the 5K on Friday night and come back and do. So now we have a fourth iChallenge called the Marathon Relay iChallenge. So, and it's a separate event that you sign up for if your team, all of them are going to do the 5K.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
Fun.
again, we're responsive. I was going to say earlier that we take very seriously our responsiveness to our participants. And I was a speaker last year for you guys at your show, and I said, if you have a question or a problem, I'm your girl. I mean, people call and email all the time, and unless we miss an email, we want to make sure we respond to everything. And so we just had a booth at the Chicago Marathon Expo in October, and It was great. It was there to, show the flag, but we saw so many people came up to us to say what a wonderful time they had at our race and life-changing,
Great.
and that's what we want. Or they'd say, "You're the crazy lady in the videos." Yes, I know who you are. I did my leprechaun thing, and we did a fun thing for Halloween. So,
You really are the make people happy person.
to a fault, I'm afraid.
To a fault,
Yeah,
I'm
to a
sure.
fault.
But
That's why
but
they
we
keep coming
all.
back.
It's a strength and a weakness.
Well, congratulations, Jan. This is a phenomenal event for the CU community. The Christie Clinic Illinois Marathon 2017. I'm assuming our friends can still register and still sign up.
Yes,
And
it's,
the date
it's,
is-
it's,
dates are?
it's always been the last weekend in April, but we are departing from that in 2017. It is going to be the third weekend in April 21 and April 22. So
Great spring
still,
weekend.
Yep, still plenty of time to sign up. We do close registration on April 16th, but we've got plenty of time to do that, and sign up because prices do go up.
And the
over time.
website is?
IllinoisMarathon.com.
Couldn't be any
No,
easier.
Exactly.
Thanks for coming and sharing all this great information. I learned something about the
I did
beginnings
too.
of the Illinois Marathon, and what a great event for everyone in our community, the volunteers, the runners, and the impact that it has through the charity partners and through bringing the community together. So thanks for being here. I had a great
Thank
time
you.
with you today
Thank you.
Good.
Thanks. And you look so good.
in your
As
uniform.
always.
And until next time, that's what she said.
Thank you to Christie Clinic's Illinois Marathon, and thank you to Columbia Street Roastery for keeping us caffeinated, and thank you to the Virginia Theater for hosting us, and as always, thank you to the magnificent Jan Seeley.